Many years ago, there lived a young man named Mado who lived in Ibadan with his beautiful wife Mabel and their three children. He was tall, dark, and handsome. He worked in an office and drove a Sienna car, which he proudly called his family ride. To everyone around, Mario looked like a responsible husband and father. But behind that charming smile was a man who had no control over his desires. He was a cheater. Every weekend, Mario would dress neatly, spray his perfume, and drive out with his wedding ring tucked into his pocket. Sometimes he would stop at local restaurants or lounge, pretending to be single. He enjoyed the chase, the compliments, the attention. But there was one problem: his car. Women in Ibadan often joked that any man driving a Sienna was definitely married. It was known as the family car. Still, Mario always found a way to lie. One Saturday afternoon, he parked outside a shopping plaza and saw two pretty ladies laughing near an ice cream stand. He walked up to them confidently. "Good afternoon, beautiful ladies," he said with his charming smile. They turned and smiled politely. "Good afternoon," one replied. "I couldn't help but notice your smile," he continued. "You just brightened my day." The second lady looked at him suspiciously. Nice line, sir. But that Sienna over there, is it yours?" "Yes," he smiled. Mario said proudly. "Then you are married," she said immediately. "All these married men in Ibadan and their Sienna cars." The lady burst into laughter. Mario chuckled awkwardly. "No, no, don't judge me by my car. I'm not married." But the ladies exchanged glances. Okay, uncle." The second lady tensed. "Nice try, but we've heard that story before." They walked away giggling, leaving Maro embarrassed. He watched them leave, shaking his head. "Women of nowadays don't even give a man a chance," he muttered to himself. At home, Mabel was in the kitchen, preparing dinner. She had been home all day, cleaning, cooking, and helping the children with their homework. She looked at the clock. It was almost 8 p.m. Where could Maro be? She murmured, worrying, filling her voice. When he finally came in, she greeted him with a smile. "Welcome, my love. You are late again." "Traffic," he said quickly, avoiding her eyes. "You say that every day," she said softly, handing him his food. "I hope you are not skipping dinner outside." Mabel, please, you worry too much," he replied, forcing a smile. "You know, I can't eat anyone's food but yours." "I hope so," she said quietly, "because you look happy each time you return home lately, like someone who has been with friends." "And what is wrong with that?" he asked sharply. "Must I come home sad before you are satisfied?" Her face fell. "I didn't mean to upset you, Maro." He sighed and rubbed his forehead. "I'm sorry, I'm just tired. Work has been stressful." Mabel smiled gently. "I understand. Eat your food before it gets cold." She walked away quietly, but her heart was heavy. Something inside her told her that her husband was no longer the same. The next day, Maro sat outside with his friend Kunle, bragging about his latest conquest. "You should have seen her, Kunle. Fine girl. She believed every word I said." "But Maro," Kunle said, frowning, "aren't you afraid your wife will find out?" "Find out how?" Maro laughed proudly. "Mabel doesn't even go out. She's always at home taking care of the kids. She trusts me completely." Still, Kunle warned, "Don't play with that woman. Oh. She's a good wife." Maro smirked. "Good wife or not, a man has needs. And besides, as long as I come home and take care of her, she will never suspect a thing." Later that evening, Mabel was sitting on the bed brushing her daughter's head when Maro entered the room. "Mommy, Daddy is home," the little girl shouted happily. "Welcome, Daddy," Mabel said softly, looking up. "You came home early today." "Yes," he replied, forcing a smile. "I missed my family." She smiled, not knowing the irony in his words. As he carried his daughter, his phone vibrated on the table. Mabel's eyes caught a glimpse of a name flashing across the screen. Gloria. Her hand trembled slightly. She said nothing. Maro quickly grabbed the phone and turned it face down. "Work message," he said too quickly. "Okay," Mabel replied gently, but her eyes lingered on him longer than usual. Mario's lies grew like roots, deep, twisted, and dangerous. Each time he thought of stopping, temptation found him again. He had become an expert at deception. When he said he was traveling for work, he was really checking into hotels with his latest side chick. And every time he looked into another woman's eyes, he silenced the voice of guilt whispering in his heart. One Thursday morning, as he packed a small travel bag, Mabel stood by the doorway folding his shirt neatly. "You said you would be gone for 3 days," she asked gently. "Yes," Mario replied, zipping his bag. "My company sent me to Abuja for a short project." "You've been traveling a lot lately," she said softly, adjusting his collar. "But I know it's for us." He smiled faintly, guilt flashing in his eyes. "You know I'm working hard for this family. Everything I do is for you and the kids." "I know," she whispered, smiling sadly. "You are a good husband, Maro." Her words broke something inside him, but he quickly hid it behind a grin. "Take care of yourself, Mabel. I will call you every night." "I will miss you," she said, hugging him tightly. "I've missed you too," he replied, though his heart already belonged elsewhere. That afternoon, Maro didn't drive to Abuja. He went straight to hotel, where Gloria, his current mistress, was waiting in a red dress that matched her lipstick. "Finally," she said as he entered the room, "I thought you changed your mind." "Changed my mind about you?" Maro chuckled. "Never." She giggled, wrapping her arms around him. "Did you tell your wife?" "Of course," he said proudly. "She thinks I'm out of town for work." Gloria smiled, brushing her fingers on his chest. "Poor woman, she must really trust you." "Trust is what keeps peace at home," Maro said casually, "and peace gives me freedom." They both laughed. Back home, Mabel sat on the bed, scrolling through her husband's old pictures. She misses him already. She sent him a message. "Hope your journey was safe. The kids miss you already. Don't forget to eat something. I love you." He didn't reply for hours. When he finally did, it was late at night. "Long day, my love. Just go to the hotel. I will call you tomorrow. Sleep well." She smiled softly, unaware he was lying beside another woman. Days passed. Mario and Gloria stayed in the hotel like a couple on vacation. He turned off his phone during the day and only texted Mabel at night. He sent messages like, "Work is stressful, but I'm managing. Wish I could see your smile right now. Tell the kids Daddy loves them." Every word felt heavy with guilt, yet he continued. On the third night, while Gloria slept beside him, Maro stared at the ceiling. Something about the silence made him uneasy. He remembered Mabel's gentle voice, her laughter when the children chased her around the house, the smell of her cooking. He remembered how she waited for him every night without complaining, how she prayed for his success. For a moment, he felt a tinge of regret. Maybe I should go home tomorrow, he thought. But just as quickly, Gloria turned and whispered half asleep, "Don't leave me yet." And with that, his conscience went quiet again. Back in Ibadan, Mabel was on her knees in the children's room, helping their youngest say his bedtime prayers. Mommy, when is Daddy coming back? The little boy asked. Soon, my love, she said softly. Daddy is working hard for us. The child smiled. Then I will pray that God gives him strength. Mabel smiled. That is a beautiful prayer, sweetheart. She turned off the light and went to her room, staring at her husband's empty side of the bed. Lord, she whispered, keep him safe and bring him back home soon. But what she didn't know was that the man she prayed for was losing himself more and more each day, chasing shadows, lying to the woman who loved him most, and building a life of secret that will one day come crashing down. Mario's double life was becoming harder to hide. He had lied so much that even he started to believe his own stories. It happens on a hot Friday in Ibadan. Mario was driving his Sienna, music playing softly, when he saw a young woman walking out of a boutique. Her laughter light and confident. He slowed down. Excuse me, beautiful lady, he called out through the window. Can I give you a ride? Cindy turned and gave him one long, suspicious look. No, thank you, she said sharply. Come on, it's hot out here. I promise I don't bite. She folded her arms. You drive a Sienna. Only married men drive Sienna cars. Maro froze, then forced a smile. You people and this Sienna talk. So a man can't have a family car without being married? She said, raising an eyebrow. There's a baby seat at the back. He swallowed hard, then smiled quickly. Oh, that's my sister's child. I helped her drop the baby at daycare this morning. Of course, she said sarcastically, turning away. Nice story, Mr. Family Man. She began to walk off, but Mario wasn't giving up. He parked properly and ran after her. Okay, fine, he said, pretending to sigh. You caught me. I was married, but my wife died 5 years ago. Cindy stopped walking, her face softening slightly. She died? Yes, Mario said quietly, lowering his head. It was a car accident. She was everything to me. Since then, I've just been focusing on work. His voice broke slightly. Fake tears, practiced guilt. Cindy's eyes filled with sympathy. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be rude earlier. No, it's okay, Mario said, smiling sadly. I understand why you think that way. Many men don't respect marriage, but I'm not one of them. I know what loss me feels like. That was the lie that won her heart. Weeks passed, and Cindy began to trust him. She introduced him to her family as the kind and hard-working man who lost his wife. Her mother liked him immediately. Ah, he's so gentle, she said. You can tell he's responsible. See how he carries himself. Her father nodded in approval. At least, he's not like these young boys who only want to play games. You are lucky, Cindy. Cindy smiled proudly. But Mario was sweating under his calm face. He smiled, laughed, answered questions, and even promised to bring wine next visit. All the while, he kept checking his phone, terrified his wife might call. When Cindy's mother said, "You will make a good husband again someday," Mario forced a humble smile. By God's grace, ma. Back home, Mabel noticed he has been behaving differently. Maro, she said one evening, you've been spending a lot lately. Is everything okay? What kind of question is that? He snapped. Can't a man buy what he wants again? Of course you can, she said softly. I just thought maybe you are trying to impress someone. Mabel, he shouted, stop talking nonsense. You are beginning to sound ungrateful. He stormed out of the room. A few weeks later, One of Cindy's friends, Nkechi, saw Maro at a restaurant in Challenge with Mabel and the kids. They were laughing, taking pictures, looking every bit like a perfect family. Nkechi froze. Cindy, she said that night over the phone, I saw your boyfriend today. Where? At a restaurant in Challenge with his wife and 3 children. That is impossible, Cindy said firmly. His wife died. Cindy, she didn't die. I saw them. The woman wore a wedding ring and the children look exactly like him. Silence. Cindy's heart pounded as anger boiled inside her. Send me pictures if you ever see them again, she said coldly. I want proof. Days later, proof came. Nkechi sent a photo she secretly took. Maro with Mabel and the kids in front of their Sienna, smiling like the perfect family. Cindy stared at the photo, her hand shaking. He lied to me, she whispered. He used his wife's death as a story to get me. Her eyes hardened. He will regret this. That night, Cindy searched his name online, checked social medias, and within hours, she found his wife's account, Mabel. Pictures of her children, family outings, their wedding anniversary posts, everything. Instead of confronting him immediately, Cindy decided to play along. The next day, she called him sweetly. Baby, I've been thinking, maybe I should meet your niece someday. Maro froze on the phone. She's not around now. She went to stay with her mom for a while. Oh, really? Cindy said calmly. That is fine. By the way, my mom said we should start planning our introduction. Maro's heart jumped. Introduction? Yes, you said you wanted to settle down with me, didn't you? He laughed awkwardly. Yes, of course. We will talk about it. We will, Cindy said, smiling bitterly. We definitely will. Behind that small voice, Cindy was plotting. She started making endless demands. New phones, expensive dresses, weekend getaways. Baby, I want the new iPhone, she would say. But I just gave you money last week. Maro would protest. You said you love me. Or was that a lie? Amaro, terrified she might find out the truth, always gave in. At home, Mabel began to notice some things. Maro, what is happening? You've stopped paying the children's school fees on time. Mabel, please stop nagging me. Nagging? She said tearfully. I just want to understand why things are changing. He slammed the door and walked out frustrated. But what he didn't know was that Cindy had gathered everything, pictures of his wife, screenshots of their chats, even his address. She sat in her apartment one night, scrolling through it all, whispering to herself, you broke my trust with lies, Maro, but I will make sure your truth breaks your peace. Cindy had turned her heartbreak into a mission. If Maro could lie so boldly and insult his wife's dignity behind her back, then she would make him pay, painfully and slowly. For weeks, she continued draining him. Every call, every text, every date was a careful planned trap. Baby, she would say sweetly, I need some money for a small business I'm starting. How much? Maro would ask, rubbing his tired eyes. Just 300,000. You said you believe in hardworking women, remember? Maro smiled, thinking he was winning her love, not knowing he was funding his own downfall. One Wednesday morning, after making sure Maro had left for work, Cindy took a cab straight to his house. She had the address from a document he once left in his car. When she arrived, Mabel was in the compound, washing her children's uniforms. Good morning, ma, Cindy greeted softly. Mabel looked up, a bit surprised. Good morning, dear. How can I help you? Cindy took a deep breath. I know this will sound strange, but I'm here because of your husband, Maro. Mabel froze. My husband? What about him? Cindy opened her phone and showed her their pictures together. Hotel selfies, love messages, even voice notes. Mabel's hand trembled. This can't be true. I didn't come here to fight, Cindy said, her voice calm but steady. I came because I was lied to. He told me you were dead. Mabel gasped, covering her mouth. Dead? He told you I was dead? Yes, he said you died 5 years ago in a car accident. And he said you were never demanding, that you were peaceful, unlike other women. But in our chat, Cindy scrolled through her phone and showed the messages. He insulted you, ma. He said you didn't have ambition, that you just sit at home doing nothing. Mabel's eyes filled with tears. She sat down slowly on the doorstep, her heart heavy. He stopped me from working after our second child, she whispered. He said he didn't want men looking at me. I gave up my job because I wanted peace at home. Her voice broke. I used to be a banker, she said, her eyes distant. I used to earn my own money, help him pay bills. I thought giving it up for him meant love. I didn't know he would mock me with it. Cindy looked at her, not as a rival, but as a fellow woman who had been played. Ma, she said gently, I don't want to destroy your home. I just wanted you to know who he really is. But I have an idea, one that might teach him a lesson. Mabel wiped her tears. What idea? We will play him together. Cindy said, he's still sending me money. We will keep collecting. But I will send everything to you. Let him think he's taking care of his side chick, where he's really rebuilding you. Mabel looked at her, shocked. You would do that? Yes, Cindy said firmly. I'm not after revenge anymore. I want him to feel what it's like to be used and fooled. He think he's smart. Let's show him real intelligence. Mabel hesitated for a moment, then smiled weakly. Then let's teach him. Their secret alliance began. Cindy would message Maro every few days with new needs. Baby, I need 150,000 for my rent renewal. Baby, my car tire burst. I need 80,000. Baby, my mommy is sick. I need 200,000, please. And Maro, thinking he was buying Cindy's love and loyalty, kept sending the money from his salary, from loans, even from his wife's savings. But this time, Cindy sent every kobo to Mabel. Within a few months, Mabel had quietly cleared school debts, repaid her mother's roof, and even started a small business. Meanwhile, Maro was getting broke and confused. Things are just not adding up again. He complained to his friends, Kunle, I can't even explain how my money disappeared. You too, calm down, Kunle said, laughing. Maybe it's karma. Maro frowned. Karma for what? You think you can deceive women and go free? Wait small, you will understand. At home, Mabel started changing too. She smiled more, dressed better, and began going out again. You are looking different these days, Maro said one evening. I decided to focus on myself a bit. She replied with a calm smile. Focus on yourself, he repeated suspiciously. Yes, it's been years since I did anything for me. He nodded slowly, confused but uneasy. That's nice. As he scrolled through his phone, a message popped up from Cindy. Baby, I love you. You are the only one who understands me. He smiled proudly. And just like that, the hunter was being haunted by two women he had underestimated, one he betrayed and one he lied to. Maro's life began to crumble faster than he could understand. Everything he thought he controlled, his lies, his charm, his secrets, was falling apart, one truth at a time. It all began one quiet evening. Mabel was sitting in the living room, dressed in a simple but elegant gown. Her face was calm, her eyes sharp with quiet confidence. The children were asleep. Maro walked in, whistling softly, his phone in hand. "Welcome," Mabel said gently, not looking up. "Thanks," he replied, loosening his tie. "You look different." "Do I?" she said with a faint smile. "Maybe because I'm no longer the dead wife you told people about." Maro froze instantly. The words hit him like thunder. What did you just say?" he stammered. "You heard me," she said, standing up slowly. "You told another woman that I died 5 years ago. You told her I was never demanding, that I was peaceful, and that you wanted a hardworking woman instead. Isn't that what you said?" Maro's mouth went dry. "Who told you that?" "Cindy," Mabel said firmly. His face went pale. "Cindy?" he stuttered. "She told you?" "Yes, she showed me everything. Your chats, your pictures, your voice notes, even where you mocked me for staying home, for loving you too much." He stepped backward, his breath heavy. "Oh God." "No, Maro," Mabel said sharply. "Don't call God now. You called lies love. You killed me with your words before I even died." He tried to speak, but she raised her hand. "And you know what's funny?" she said bitterly. "The same Cindy you deceive has been giving me all the money you sent her. Every single naira. You've been building my business without even knowing it." Maro gasped, disbelief written all over his face. "You, both of you?" "Yes," Mabel interrupted. "We played your game better than you did. You used lies to destroy your home, but we used truth to rebuild it." He sat on the couch, speechless, his words spinning. "So, she knew. She knew everything," Mabel said coldly. "She pitied me, not you. You made her believe you were a widower, and she turned your greed into my blessing." Maro buried his face in his hands. "Mabel, please, I can explain." "Don't," she cut him off. "You've explained enough for years with your lies." The next day, Maro went to work with a heavy heart, but the worst was yet to come. His boss called him into the office. "Maro," his voice said, adjusting his glasses, "I had an unexpected visitor yesterday." "Visitor?" Maro asked weakly. "Your wife," the boss replied. "She told me everything. How you've been pretending to travel for work when you were actually with other women. She showed me proof." Maro's knees felt weak. "Sir, please, I can—" "Don't," the boys interrupted coldly. "Our office cannot afford such scandals. You are dismissed immediately." That was it, the end of everything he had. Mabel, now glowing and successful, barely looked at him. Her small business had grown thanks to the very money he thought he was spending on another woman. She was confident, financially stable, and strangely peaceful. "Mabel," he said one morning, "I'm sorry, I lost everything. I don't even know where to start." "You start where you stop being honest," she replied calmly. He looked around the house. New furniture, better curtain, and laughter from the children. Everything looked better without him. "You are doing well now," he said quietly. "At least I'm happy for you." "You should be," she said, scrolling through her phone. "You are trending online." He frowned. "Trending?" She turned her phone towards him. There was a video of her talking on TikTok titled "How I Turned My Cheating Husband Lies into Blessings." Her page was full of motivational posts and funny skits about marriage, betrayal, and rediscovering self-worth. You used me for content?" he asked, shocked. "Not used," she smiled, inspired. He looked defeated. "So, what happens to us now?" Mabel looked at him for a long moment, then said softly, "Us? There hasn't been us for years. I just didn't realize it until now." He lowered his head, tears in his eyes. "I'm sorry, Mabel. I know, she said, standing up, but sometimes sorry doesn't fix what is broken. It only reminds us who did the breaking. She walked out to meet a client, leaving him sitting there, broke, jobless, and surrounded by the echoes of his own choices. For the first time, Mario felt what it meant to lose everything he never appreciated. A man who plays with a faithful heart will one day realize that lies may buy pleasure, but truth builds legacy. Maro learned too late that when you bury love with deceit, it never resurrects, it only grows into regret. Thank you for watching this story. Hi besties, what moral lesson did you learn from this story? Kindly share your thoughts with me in the comment section. Like this story, share this story to someone who might be interested, and subscribe to this YouTube channel if you've not done so by now. Until I bring an interesting and educative story your way. Bye for now.